It's all good. It's all good, man. It's all good. Yes, we lost to Stoke City 1-0, but we're out of the FA Cup. Let's focus on the Championship. Let's take that little positive from today's performance. Obviously, it wasn't a great performance, but let's take it and move into the game against Leicester City. It would have been great to get momentum going into that game, but rather the FA Cup now. Let's focus on the EFL Championship. This is my match reaction to Coventry City 0, Stoke City 1. If you're going to enjoy this match reaction, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're new. This is going to be a little bit of a different match reaction. We're not going to go play by play in this one here. I'm just going to give you my general thoughts. It's not going to be as long as I usually do, and then we're going to jump into the player ratings, of course, as we always do on every single match reaction. So don't forget to leave yours in the comments down below. Who do you think was the best performer? Who do you think was the worst on the pitch? There's a couple of contenders today for both of those. First of all, as the whole game panned out, we had most of the ball. Of course, that's always what we do in games. We control the game, but again, we're lacking that cutting edge up front. And I understand it's a changed 11. I understand that we had youngsters coming into it, but I expected just a little bit more out of the attacking options that we had. Rodoni, Haji Wright. SA looked good in certain areas. He could have got an assist today from Haji Wright, which still can't hit the back of the net. I mean, what is up with Haji Wright at this stage of the season? He is becoming a real problem, and I hate to say that because on another day, that back post chance goes in the back of the net. We're 1-0 up in the game when we should have necessarily been 2 or 3-0 down at halftime with the good chances that they had. They had so many chances in that first half where you're just looking at Haji in the second half, just hoping he hits the back of the net, but we don't. But let's be real, the goal that we conceded against Stoke is a wonder goal. And a little bit of me was happy that we got knocked out at that stage. Of course, you want to progress through to the next round of the FA Cup. A team who's not in the top 6 of the Premier League, you know, those type of clubs who just want to have a cup run so you can look back at the end of the season and go, you know what, we made it to the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. That was a good innings. But we're not going to get that this season. We got knocked out of the first round that we have played. And as I said, I don't really care. That is my takeaway. If you want a 3-word summary, I don't care. I want to win the Championship. That is more important for me than making it to the quarterfinals of an FA Cup where you don't get a trophy. If the scenario was we win the FA Cup or we get promoted to the Premier League, then we're talking about a real scenario where it's kind of like, I mean, a trophy is a trophy at the end of the day, but the Premier League's the Premier League. I would probably still take the trophy, honestly, but that's not the scenario we find ourselves in. And with the changed 11 that we had, I mean, we had Wolverhampton, Eccles, Kitchen, Bidwell, Rodoni, Andrews in the midfield, who I think did an okay job for one of his first starts for Coventry. Latibodia, Eze, Yang and Wright. I don't think it was a terrible performance. I just expected a little bit more going forward. And defensively, we were just caught out a few times for my liking with the level of defenders that we had. I mean, Wolverhampton and Kitchen, you're talking about an ex-Premier League centre-back and one of our best players this season as a centre-back pairing. And they ran through us a few times. That's a little bit concerning, especially going into the Leicester game where we're going to have to play Wolverhampton because Thomas is suspended. Latibodia, right back, I think he did a good job. You know, it's not his natural position, but he can play there. Bidwell at left back got caught out a few times for my liking again, but you need that experience in the lineup, and that's why I chose him to start in this game. And yeah, that's really what I've got to say about this game is we made a changed 11. What was it? 8 new players came into the lineup and we played like that. I don't think anyone came into this game expecting that we would win it. I mean, I predicted a win, of course. I'm going to do that because I'm a Coventry fan and I want to be optimistic, but at the end of the day, most of us looking at their lineup compared to ours previously before the game even kicked off, we were going into it sort of saying, you know, hopefully we can get something out of this if we want to win it. You know, Eze looks good. Yang looks like a good option, which I think he put in a really good shift for his first game. But with the lineup that Stoke did, like I said, they just put out a really good lineup and we struggled against them in certain instances where they were going forward. They were looking dangerous every single time. And as I mentioned, we just controlled the ball but didn't really penetrate their back line as I expected us to with those front four. So yeah, congratulations to Stoke City. You guys are going through to the next round of the FA Cup. I hope you do well. I love Mark Robins. Every Coventry fan does. I don't see one Coventry fan who doesn't like him. So I hope you guys go on to win it, honestly, because that's what I'm focusing on right now. Coventry first in the Championship, 6 points clear of Middlesbrough, and Stoke City have dropped down to 8th. That's all I care about in the league right now. So that's my match reaction to Coventry City 0, Stoke City 1 away from home. A wonder goal by Stoke City got them over the line. Let's move into the player ratings. Ben Wilson in goal, 6 out of 10. Didn't really have to do much, let's be honest. I think he did a good job. Seeing as it is his his first start for us this season, if I'm not mistaken. I think he did a really good job. Latabodia, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I thought he did really well at right back. Seeing as it isn't his first position, Wolverhampton, I'll give him a 6. Again, I expect better from an ex-Premier League centre-back. I keep banging on about this with him, and it's so crucial going into the Leicester game that he needs to perform and he needs to show what he showed at Ipswich Town. Otherwise, we're just paying for a name at the moment. We're not paying for the player. Kitchen next to him, I'll give him a 6.5. Again, distribution wasn't as good as I expected from him. A couple of good cross-field passes, but other than that, I think he just played an average game. Bidwell, I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Positionally, again, got caught out. But other than that, you need the experience in the lineup, especially with Kai Andrews in the midfield. For Kai Andrews, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I know that's hyping him up a lot, but I think for his first start in the midfield, I think he did a really good job. He controlled the ball, he dictated tempo at times, he showed a little bit of class on the ball. I really liked him in that midfield role. I think he did a good job. Eccles alongside him, 7 out of 10 also. Oh, Eccles is so underrated in this fan base. I don't get the agenda. I love Eccles, and being a Coventry boy also, it makes it even better, doesn't it, that he's performing at this sort of levels. He got the goal against Birmingham City, and then in this game here, I think he was one of our standout players. I think he did a really good job. Rodoni as the 10, again, when are we going to get the old Rodoni back? I'll give him a 6 out of 10. I'm starting to lose faith in him. What is going on? He's such a good player, and for some reason this season, it must be his shoulder. We keep talking about this every single game, but nothing seems to get done about it. And it's almost to the point where I would drop him. I know he's got class and he's got that moment of brilliance, which some players don't have, but he's not showing it. So you can't start him. It's unfair. I'd rather start Eccles there with Torp and Grimes holding behind instead of Rodoni at this point. Eccles shows more physicality. He shows more tenacity on the ball. He shows more of a goal-scoring threat, as he has done. He's saved us so many times this season, Eccles. So why not put him as a 10 instead of Rodoni now? That's my big takeaway from this game, is Rodoni needs to be dropped. Eccles needs to be playing as a 10, just for the short term. Not saying long term, not saying Rodoni will ever get back to what he used to do, but that's what I want. I want Eccles as a 10, Rodoni out for now. Yang, for his first start for Coventry, I'll give him a 6.5. I thought he did a really good job, especially for a player who could barely get into the Portsmouth side. I thought he did a really good job today. I feel like he grew into the game. I really liked his performance. I still see him as a cameo type player, but I think he did really good today. SA, I'll give him a 7 out of 10. I am so impressed by him. I love him so much. He's that type of player that I just love watching. He's so good on the ball. Sometimes during a game, you may be on your phone and he gets the ball, and that's when you throw that phone away. You have those type of fans who just sit on their phone, kind of watch the game. He's the one that gets you off your seats, sort of like a Mason Clark in a similar sort of way. So I'll give him that rating there. Hadji Wright up front. Where do we go for Hadji? I mean, 5.5, 6. I mean, I'm losing faith in Hadji, and every single game that passes by, my love meter is going down for him. He's done fantastic things for us in this football club, but football's a sport where you have to continuously perform week in, week out, season in, season out, and this season, probably half, maybe over half of the games he's played, he's been dreadful, and this game here doesn't help his cause. Moving on to the substitutions, Mason Clark came on the 72nd minute. I'll give him a 6 out of 10. Didn't necessarily have too much to do. Ellis Sims came on. I'll give him a 6 out of 10 also. Tats came on the right-hand side, 6 out of 10. Milan, he could be culpable for the goal because the cross came in from his side, which we did header out, and then they scored that Wildy. I mean, if you really want to criticize him, you should have closed down that initial ball in, but I'm not going to do that because I'm not biased. So I'll give Milan a 6 out of 10. And then Lampard, again, I've got to give him a 6 out of 10. I don't necessarily think anything was his fault today. He had to make the changes in the lineup. Everybody wanted him to do that, and he did it, and we lost the game just by a miraculous goal. I understand that we didn't create many chances compared to Stoke City, who had less of the ball, but there's no one in the fan base who's really upset that we've been knocked out. So I'll give him a 6 out of 10. So that's my player ratings for Coventry City 0, Stoke City 1, and my match reaction. If you've enjoyed this quick video, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'll see you in my match preview for Coventry City versus Leicester City. The M69 derby is back at the CBS. We've got to win our home games to get promoted this season. We need to win most of our home games, and we need to start off with a bang against Leicester City on Saturday. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on that one.